Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to instructional video number 16 of the 1987 Supermod. On this video, we are going to cover updates for version 8.0. So in the game here, I have just started a beta save as Championship Wrestling from Florida to show you a few of the additions to this version of the Supermod. So, the first things first, we got the title situations here straightened out with Championship Wrestling from Florida, and that includes the heavyweight title and the tag team title. I had messed up before, and then it was showing doubles. So, for example, it was showing Graham and Kern as the current champions, then it was also showing them down here as previous champions. I got that straightened out. Now, here comes the cool part. I want to show you all the retired titles that have been added and all the hours and hours of work that it took to put them in. So we now have the NWA Brass Knuckles title, the Florida version, which has been added. And this title went on from 1960 all the way to 1984. The Florida Global Tag Team title was added, and that title went from 82 to 83. A lot of big names held that title. Of course, they've all been updated properly. The Florida women's title with the legitimate picture of the title has been added. This title went from like 1951 to 1975. It's right up there. So any ladies that applied went ahead and got tagged with their title reign. The NWA North American Tag Team title, the Florida version, was added, and obviously the parentheses indicate that it was the Florida version. So you can see right there that it went from 81 until 82. We went ahead and added the NWA Southern Women's title in there. That went from 1948 until 1972. All the appropriate ladies that are in the system, that are in the game, have been tagged. And we also added the NWA US Tag Team title that was the Florida version. And that ran in Florida from 1961 until 1986. All the appropriate holders of that title have been added. The picture is of the WWF United States Tag Team title. I couldn't find one for the Florida one. And the Florida version of the NWA World Tag title was added along with the legitimate picture. And that title went from 1961 to 1969. So all those titles have been added, and it's pretty cool. So let's take a look, and you can see how these show up, which I find the coolest part of that. So let's use Eddie Graham, for example. I can reset the search. Of course, Eddie Graham is deceased, so it should come up. There he is. Okay, so let's check out Eddie Graham's title histories. There you have it. Whereas before, it didn't show Eddie Graham as holding any title. So there you go. All his titles have been added. And as you can see, it is quite a bit. Now, let's reset this. Check this out. This is going to blow your mind. Okay, check out Jody Hamilton. This is ridiculous how many titles this guy held. Now, keep in mind that most of these titles were not in the game. I added them into the game from version 7 into 7.0 and also 8.0. Look at this. Look how many titles this guy held. It's impressive. It really is. Very impressive. So all these titles have been added. I'm also going to show you other titles that have been added. Central States has a huge uh, deep history because it started out as Heart of America Sports Attractions. So it was a promotion long before Central States. So the retired titles are added in there. They had a version of the North American Tag Team title. That has been added in there. That title was in existence from 1973 until 1979. And then they also had another version of the North American title that was Heartland Sports Attractions, but I have that under the NWA. As technically, there were two different titles, as weird as that might sound. There was also a Missouri version of the U.S. Heavyweight title. So that is that title. That was in existence from 1961 to 1970. And of course, all the appropriate people have been labeled. And there was also a World Tag Team version in Missouri that was active from 1950 to 1963. Now, that's technically Heart of America Sports Attractions, but I kept it under Central States. So, of course, all the wrestlers that this applies to have been added there. Let's take a look at the AWA. Some of you may not have watched earlier videos, but we went ahead and added all of the AWA's previous titles in there, and that includes the Minnesota version of the NWA World Tag title, and that existed from 1957 to 1960, back when the AWA was known as the Minnesota Boxing and Wrestling Club. That was the NWA promotion before the AWA. So technically, again, we could have this under the ownership of the alliance, but we didn't. I could change it, but it doesn't really matter. So, of course, all the appropriate wrestlers have been added who held that title. And I just think it's pretty cool that all this has been added and that all of this is in there. I'm trying to think. Let's take a look at alliances. Nope, that's not alliances. That's alliances. And there's titles. See, it's not going to let us see the retired titles. So let's take a look at Dick Murdoch. There's Dick Murdoch. And you can see Dick Murdoch had very few titles in this game before. And we have added in all his titles. There was no NWA Missouri heavyweight title. There was no Gulf Coast heavyweight title. Gulf Coast tag team. The NWA Southern heavyweight wasn't in the game. All these have been added since version 7.0. Here's the Missouri version of the U.S. heavyweight title. There's the NWA Western States heavyweight title that was defended in Amarillo and the Western States tag team. So you can get a sense of the work that's gone into this and how historically accurate this game is. Of course, back in version 7.0, we added the Canadian title, we added the Bahamas title, obviously the AWA British Empire title, which was defended in Canada. So all of these have been added in. There's Mosca's Florida Global Tag Team. So that's in there. Oh, another really cool thing that was not in the game before. I've been reading Brian Blair's book, and he talked about the Frank Tunney Sr. Memorial Tag Tournament that took place in March of 1987. Well, the event is dead in the game, but the results were not because this game was originally designed for March of 1987. So there it is. We added a memorial trophy, and of course, the first winners were Brian Blair and Jim Brunzell. And of course, since the WWF never ran this again, we went ahead and deactivated it, but it's in the game, along with all of the retired WWF titles that have been added into the game previously. So there it is, folks. This is pretty exciting stuff for version 8.0. If you are interested in titles and realism and that kind of stuff, this version of 8.0 definitely has it. And I really don't know how much further I can go with the titles, because all the major promotions that are in the game, I've pretty much put all their retired titles into the game. So I think we're sitting pretty on that. So this is just another inside sneak peek into what's coming with version 8.0. And I hope you'll go ahead and give this channel a subscribe. I hope you like this video and give this a share. Show your friends what it's all about. Join us on facebook.com/groups/1987supermod and join us as we discuss everything 1987 Supermod. And last but not least, if you would like version 7.0, go to braddrake.net, drop me a line, and I'll be more than happy to send you a link to the database and the picture pack. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.